Sarit, as the mall turns 40 on the 27th of April, we opened the doors in 1983, and I'm 77 born. So the two founders or co-founders, my father and Saubhagyachan Bachubapa Shah and Manekla Rugani, decided to name the mall after me because I was the youngest in the family in my generation. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you. How is work?
Good. First, tell me, you want tea, coffee, water? What would you like?
A glass of wine?
That's a nice one. Right?
Do you speak a little bit of Swahili?
Kidogo.
Kidogo.
Naongea.
Akiwewe, na umesomea hapa.
But not fluent.
Yeah,
Najua
not
kidogo,
fluent.
kidogo.
Kidogo.
Yeah, yeah.
Sawa, sawa. This is your dad? This is your dad?
Yes, that's my dad.
This
That's
must
me.
be you.
That's me.
What shoes are you putting on? Like
Those are trainers.
with it.
So, yeah, so this is 1990. You know, when our guru came back, in 73 he came, and then 1990 he came. So this is our photo, which I think a super photo. So my dad, me and our guru. And then this one is very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh? So this one is, you know, in end of March, COVID was officially announced in the country. So a week before, the former president, Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, visited the mall, and he came to open an expo, medical expo. Yes, I'm 45.
And we're celebrating 40 years.
So, Sarit, as the mall turns 40 on the 27th of April, we opened the doors in 1983, and I'm 77 born. So I was 6 years at that time.
And how did they decide to name the Sarit Center?
Yes, so the two founders or co-founders, my father and Saubhagyachan Bachubapa Shah and Manekla Rugani, decided to name the mall after me because I was the youngest in the family in my generation at that time. So they named it after me. But I remember my dad saying, please remember, be humble, and it's only a name. Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I had in mind that, yes, I will be joining the family business. And I always had that entrepreneurial and growth strategy in my mind. That, no, the businesses have to grow. And this is what we want to do. And I was obviously in school in Brookhouse and then Premier Academy. And then I went to UK for studying. I was at University of Warwick. Then I was in London. So I was in the UK for 5 years. I was planning to stay there more. And then the family said, or my father said, why don't you come and bring value to the business?
What did you study?
Management science. And then I did my accountancy after that.
Which university?
University of Warwick.
Okay, great.
Yes, so it was a good grounding education-wise. And that's what I appreciate at the moment. Yeah, so, he was an entrepreneur, I would say, a philanthropist, a visionary. And when he called me back from the UK, he put me in one of our businesses called Textbook Center. And I started in the warehouse. He said, "You're going into the warehouse. You're going to the stores."
You have to know how packaging and everything is.
Yeah. In year 2000, September, I decided, because I'd started applying for jobs in the UK.
Which year was that?
Year 2000, September. So in August, I made applications. I completed my accountancy. Then in August, I made applications to do jobs for employment in the UK. And in September, he calls me and says that, "No, I'd rather you come here and you get used to and help in the business and grow the business." And so after a month, I decided to come back. And he put me in the stores at Textbook Center.
In the stores, were you under payroll?
Yes, I was under payroll.
Great. So now you're working in the stores. How did you rise up to now becoming the CEO?
So it's a very interesting journey, 20-year journey. So from 2000, right? 2000, I would say October, I came back to Kenya and I joined the family business of Textbook Center, where I started in the warehouse. And every few months, I was moved from department to department.
I see.
So eventually, obviously, I started after, I think it was 2 or 3 years, I took control of the finance department in terms of, but the reporting structures were there. And overall, I started getting involved in meetings of the whole business. And at the same time, I was being exposed to our other family businesses where there are certain meetings I was called to just as observer, as observer. So I was just listening. And that's how I was being developed until 2000, I would say 2008, the family decided to recruit a professional MD at Textbook Center. And then at that time, I was made the deputy MD. And he was also, one of his mandate was to groom me for the job at Textbook Center. So all those years went. 2015, the family decided we want to grow Sarit Center. This was in 2015, yes. And we decided to expand the mall to what it is now. Yeah, we doubled the size, we did a master plan. And I think this was a game changer again in the Sarit history. So 2015, I had to step out of my role at TBC. And what happened is I started being groomed for Sarit because we were going into the design and construction phase.
Yes.
So I started spending half day there, half day here from July 2015. From 1st January 2016, my day-to-day role was Sarit and the expansion program. So we completed that in 2019. And the tenants started fitting out. 2020, COVID hit. We completed that whole phase. And in 2021, I was made the CEO.
Just hold it up there. When you are going to one month, at this department and another one this department, did you know that they were preparing you for something?
No, I was just said, it's better you have exposure from the bottom and you need to climb the ladder. You can't just start attending board meetings immediately. So it was just exposure and to understand what's happening on the ground, what's happening in the market. And that's what I value today.
Did that sort of cut down your social life? Because you're now a younger person, very busy running this company and this company, preparing yourself for the future. How did that affect your social life?
Yes, obviously the business was given priority and I had to put in the hours at that time. And at the same time, so and then I got married in 2003. I came back to Kenya in 2000,
Yes.
late in 2003, I got married. So it was...
Tell me about you getting married. Was it an arranged marriage? Or was it somebody you're courting but you're there?
So yes, there was a common friend of both the families who introduced my current wife to me. And we were just talking, and suddenly it started, just clicked. Imagine she was doing her master's in UK.
Oh, I see.
So I came back, and she was still doing her master's in UK at Nottingham University. So in marketing. So, and then we just clicked, and obviously. So what's important is each mall owner or the landlord, I would say, needs to consider quite a few factors, because I cannot copy another mall strategy and vice versa. Yes, you should know what's happening in the market, but in a mall, it's not simple as I'm the landlord, you're the tenant, pay me rent. It's no longer like that. You have to see what the mall is offering, your location, your tenant mix, right? So a mall may be here, and a mall in Westlands and a mall in Donholm, the strategies have to be different. We've had challenges, we've 82, 83 we opened first phase, 1996 we opened the second phase, 2019 is when we opened the third phase, and that's all based on market dynamics. So we've had to grow because of what the market wants and what we believe is going to take us to the future. So it's both together. And interesting is, we had our tagline as city within a city. We've now changed it to your city. Your city.
So basically,
Rebranded to your city because we believe it's the customer city, right? And in terms of even the warming or the green side of things, we're the only mall that has a green facade. If you go to our parking, you'll see a whole green wall there, right? 30 meters by 32 meters, something like that. The only one in Kenya. You'll see that. We were not sure whether that will be successful or not.
Yeah.
You can see that from the road, a whole green facade. If you see our rooftop garden, right? That's the only one again in
amazing.
Kenya. We've got indigenous trees there. So wherever we've tried to look at the green aspect of things.
Square feet is this another?
It would be lettable, 690,000 square feet lettable. Out of that is probably approximately the world-class expo center of 80,000.
Do you ever get lost? Do you?
It's a very, it's a good question. Huh? I don't get lost, but let me digress a bit on this, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, because I was involved in the design, so I know even where the staircases are, by the way. So getting lost, initially when we opened the new phase, so we took a conscious decision to let people get lost, right? So we said, but not for too long. Let people get lost, and people were getting lost. You'll see on social media, someone is saying, "Oh, we enter Sarit, and you turn out to be in another town," right? You come out of the exit, and suddenly you're in another town, right? So there were a lot of things happening on social media, but our conscious decision was that give it 12 months, let people get lost, and the reason was
But then you can provide a map. Okay, you.
provide a map, but more important is we want people to walk around, let them be lost, because then they know where which shops are where. So we wanted to promote the tenancies. Otherwise, if you give a map straight away or you make it easy, then certain tenants may not benefit. Yes. So what happens is market research is I have to do my rounds. I have to do my market research. Exactly what do customers want here? It's not someone just walks up to my office and says, I want to meet him and, I want this shop, I'll pay you this much rent. It's not as easy as that. I have to see what is right for the mall. Commercially, may not be beneficial, but long term it will be beneficial. So the challenge is to have the right tenant mix and to ensure the mall is functioning operationally, right? in all ways, from safety to cleanliness. Just think, if there is no power for 20 minutes, what happens?
I can imagine disaster.
Disaster. I mean, you'll have, for example, the major hyper supermarket, all the fridges for 20 minutes, everything is melted, right? So it's not, the challenges are in different disciplines, right? And at the same time, to keep going for the vision and the strategy going forward. So one thing is managing the mall, what customers want, what the tenants want, right? And at the same time, ensuring that we are with the trend. The challenges are, people may say, oh, I just can't get hold of him. But that's not the case, right? I have to see what is right for the mall going forward as well, currently and going forward. And that's, I think that's what gives me a buzz, right? That, yes, we need to ensure now, but going forward, do we continue in the same direction? Do we work the same way? What changes do we make? Marketing is also a key element of the mall, right? Because we want it to be also a destination mall. We want people outside a certain range to also come here. And competition is always there, we know. Yes, and it's healthy, we are happy. And remember, competition, the Sarit competition, I would not say it's just a mall, right? I wouldn't say the mall, surrounding malls within the few kilometers. Competition is any customer satisfaction provider. For example, you could be at a community, we've got these small strip malls coming. We've got these small community centers coming. We've got these maybe even small eateries at petrol stations. Basically, competition is everything. Something that will tell a customer, right, that no, I don't want to come to Sarit, let me just go quickly and get this from somewhere else. So how do we make sure that we provide everything under one roof such that then they come here?
Yeah, why should I go to Sarit?
Yeah, why should I go to Sarit? And that's what we have to say. Why, if we are thinking like that, and that's what I push even our internal departments. Go and brainstorm. That why should a customer, think in the eyes of a customer, why should I come here and not go, let's say, somewhere else? So someone might say, oh, look, I want to do my shopping, then I make sure my kids are playing, I can have a meal, I'll get everything under one roof, your city, I'll get everything here. Okay, then I'll come here. Or do you have any specific niches, right? You may have certain tenants who have niches here, right? Someone might say, oh, I come to Sarit, for example, right, to pay my utility bill. Very simple thing, right?
Sure.
Or someone might say, I want to come to Sarit to buy my Hugo Boss suit. See that? I don't know where I was. So 1973, so our spiritual leader, who in our language we call our Sadguru,
Yes.
we had a house where the Sarit is now based. We had a house here.
Stop it.
We had a house here. So there was many houses, but one of the houses was ours, where actually it's the entrance to the car park. There's a tree there. That was our plot, right? So in 1973, our spiritual guru from India had come. The name was Sadguru Hariram Papa. So the two founders, the co-founders, were with him in the garden, in our garden, 1973.
Yes.
So just out of respect, my dad said that, look, we are sorry.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, 1973, the roundabout, the main roundabout, that there were trucks from going to Uganda. So there's a lot of noise.
Which roundabout?
The roundabout,
Oh, I see.
the main roundabout, right? And our house was just there. So my dad just told him that, sorry, next time you come, I'll be in a better, quieter place. So he took a round in the garden, then he put his stick down like this, and he said, no, you don't sell this. You'll be amazed what will happen here. And he gave the blessing. That's
How
all.
was the guru saying that?
Yeah. And then 73 that happened, so they forgot that the blessings were given. And then suddenly, after a few years, the neighbors started approaching, saying, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? So then they remembered, actually, we were given blessings that something unique will happen here. Then in 1976 or 77, so Manekla Rugani, so my dad's co-founder, right? So just say, so he went to UK. And UK, one of the most oldest malls there is Brent Cross. So went to UK, came back, and they discussed, let's create the first enclosed shopping center in Eastern Central Africa.
And that's how Sarit Center was born.
That's how it was born. Simple.
Let's name it after these small kids walking around here.
When people are enjoying themselves here,
Yes,
it makes me feel good, huh?
I know.
Honestly, because that's what we want, is the customer experience.
Yeah.
Huh? Jane, you okay? So you can see how this was designed.
Why do you guys decide to give back to the community, and what projects are you guys doing right now?
Yeah, so what has happened is, we are from, education has always been in our hearts. So we are from Muranga, Nyeri, Karatina, the two families, the Rugani and Shah families. So what we have done is decided to give back something to the Muranga community there. So we built a school. It's called Viduramji Academy, and it's from nursery to primary to secondary.
Yeah.
And we gifted it back to the government. But we still are involved in the board of governors, so we just to ensure the school is run properly. So that's how we are giving back. This is the parking silo.
Yes.
So this has got 10 floors, and what we said that each floor we've got this particular species growing. So it grows. You can see it growing up, right? It climbs, and we had a fence, a special fence, ordered from China. So what happens from each floor it starts growing, and then you can see that we are very happy. We didn't know this will work.
It's doing so well.
Yeah.
My friends, look at you now.
Oh, yeah. When you see greenery, you feel nice. You can see this, right?
Have you stepped in all of these stores? You talked to me about 250 stores.
Yeah.
Have you stepped in all of these stores?
Yes.
Really?
Definitely. Especially, when they are fitting out or they are about to open.
Yeah.
I do step. Yeah, I have to go in. This is the tree. So our house was somewhere here.
Oh, I see.
Or somewhere here.
Yeah.
Somewhere here. Somewhere.
And this was.
I don't know the exact.
Yes.
And what I remember.
Yeah.
Is the 1982 we were still here because the coup had happened. So that's how I remember. So we moved in 1983.
Yeah.
To where we are now staying. We are still staying there.
Yes.
Still staying there. Where we moved to. Yeah, so we're still staying there.
That means you guys stay as family. Your sisters?
No, my sisters, they're married and they're staying at their
husbands.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah.
Sarit.
Thank you.
You're used to getting called Mr. Don't
No,
you think
no.
Mr. is too old?
You just call me Sarit.